Right guys, okay. Now we will start the questions of corrosion concept, okay. Right. So see here guys, what he's saying, the first question from the corrosion is, for corrosion of iron to take place, okay. So what is necessary, he's saying, right. So if you see here, for corrosion of metal is what here? It is iron. It is iron, okay. So for corrosion of this iron, what is necessary, he is asking, right. So what is necessary guys? I told you, if a metal is undergoing corrosion, then definitely what is required? Moisture, that is water, okay. Water, or we can say what? We can say definitely moisture. Water or moisture is necessary. And along with this, I told you, oxidation or oxygen. Addition of oxygen is what? Oxidation. Addition of oxygen is definitely oxidation. And oxygen is damn sure it is necessary, right? Because if a metal is undergoing oxidation, okay, wherever it undergoes oxidation, then that part is called as what? It is anode. That part is called as anode, right? And we already know what? We know anode will undergo corrosion. We know anode undergoes corrosion, isn't it? Right or wrong? Water or moisture is definitely necessary, right? And wherever there is moisture, if non-porous oxide layers are formed, right, non-porous oxide layers are formed by metals, the rate of corrosion of the metal is, right. So if you see, okay, porous we have porous metals and we have volatile metals. We have porous and we have volatile, right, isn't it? So what did I tell you? The rate of corrosion is very less for porous metals, right? Okay, the rate of corrosion is, okay, so the rate of corrosion is very less for what we have, that is volatile, isn't it? The rate of corrosion is very less for volatile, not porous, isn't it? For volatile, and right, and it is more for porous layers. What it is? The rate of corrosion is very high for porous layers and the rate of corrosion is very less for volatile, isn't it? These are protective, right? These are protective layers. I told you we have protective and non-protective layers, right? Among that, we know this volatile comes under the protective layer, right? So if he is saying this, what he is saying now? He is saying that non-porous layers. Non-porous means what? However, these are porous. And we have stable and unstable metals. Right? Among these, stable means what? Like we know gold, okay, gold, platinum, right? So the stable metals are also the non-porous, except porous, all other types of metals like volatile, stable and unstable, all this will come under what? All this will come under non-porous layers. Among that you can take what? These stable metals like gold. Will the gold undergo corrosion? Doesn't undergo. Gold will not undergo corrosion, right? So that what I am saying is, apart from this porous, all other will come under non-porous layers, right? So non-porous layers, what they are going to do? They are protective layers. So protective layers means what? Protective layer means what? It will protect the metal. It will not let the metal to undergo corrosion, right? It will not let the metal to undergo corrosion. Is that clear? So the non-porous oxide layers are formed by metals. The rate of corrosion of the metal is what? Very less, because these are protective layers. These are protective layers. Okay, is that clear? So non-porous oxide layers are formed by the metals. Then what the rate of corrosion of the metal is less. Is that clear, guys? Okay. So next, what we have, the rate of corrosion. The rate of corrosion increases. The rate of corrosion increases if the metal is acted upon by. The rate of corrosion increases if the metal is acted upon by. Right? Tell me. What is saying? The rate of corrosion increases. The rate of corrosion increases if the metal is undergoing what? What is saying? Reducing agents, oxidizing agents, oxidizing agents and reducing agents. None. He's saying all these options, right? So tell me, the rate of corrosion increases if the metal is acted upon by what? Right? What did I tell you? Oxidation is definitely necessary for corrosion, okay? So oxygen and moisture, these both are definitely necessary for corrosion. Now what did I tell you? The oxygen and moisture. Oxygen addition means what? What? Oxidation. Oxygen is like we are adding the oxygen means it is oxidation. So he's saying what? It is increasing. So the rate of corrosion increases if the metal is undergoing what? This oxidizing agents. That means oxidation will support the corrosion. Anode oxidation always takes place at what? At the anode, right? Oxidation always takes place at anode. So the rate of corrosion, it increases at the anode. That means the oxidizing agents are always what? They are nothing but the anode, because oxidation always takes place at anode. So remember, if he is saying the increasing in corrosion, if he is saying as increasing in the corrosion, then consider it as oxidizing agent. Consider it as what? Oxidizing agent. So what I am telling you, the corrosion always supports the oxidation, or oxidation always supports the corrosion. So the rate of corrosion increases if the metal is acted upon by oxidizing agent. So this is also wrong, this is wrong, and this is also wrong. Is that clear? Right? So this is the questions we have here. Okay. So what? Make a note. We'll go with the next questions. Right. So what is the next question we have, guys? Right. The rate of corrosion of zinc. The rate of corrosion of zinc with the following metal is very least. The rate of corrosion of zinc with the following metal is least. That means it is very less, he's saying. So how to know whether the corrosion is more or less between those metals? How to know that? How to know that the corrosion is very high or the corrosion is very low between these two metals, between any two metals? I told you very clearly, guys. What did I tell you? I told you very clearly that, okay, what did I tell you? So we have the electrochemical series, isn't it? We have what? We have the electrochemical series. So how was the electrochemical series? It is first we have lithium, potassium, sodium, calcium, zinc, magnesium, okay, zinc, okay, calcium, magnesium, okay, zinc, aluminium, ferrous, okay, zinc, ferrous, aluminium, right, zinc, ferrous, aluminium, so on. We have hydrogen, so on we have Ag, Au, Pt, right. So in this way we are actually having the electrochemical series. Now what is saying? The rate of corrosion of zinc with the following metal is very least. Okay. So how to identify means, I told you, if there is a distance, right, distance is what? Here we have high oxidation potential. Here we have high oxidation potential. Now if you come down, what is happening? Oxidation potential is decreasing. If you come down, what is happening? Oxidation potential is decreasing and reduction potential is increasing. What is increasing? Reduction potential is increasing, and if you come down, oxidation potential is decreasing, right? So what did I tell you? The range, okay, if the distance or if the potential, right, between any two elements, what do we have? Between these elements, okay, between these elements, what do we have? We have potential. Between these elements we have what? We have potential, isn't it? Right, between these elements we are having potential. So if the potential between any two elements is small, okay, if the potential is small, then what happens? Then oxidation is less, and okay, if the potential is small, that means if the difference between the any elements is small, then oxidation is less. Oxidation less is what? If the oxidation is less, then the corrosion is also definitely less, isn't it? Are you getting my point? So that means if the distance between the elements, is less, then the corrosion will be less because there is a less oxidation potential. So if the oxidation potential is less, then the corrosion formation will be very low, isn't it? So what I am telling you, so between calcium and ferrous you take, there is the gap is very high, so corrosion will be more, right? And if you consider only sodium and potassium, the distance is very less, the corrosion is very less, right? If you consider calcium and aluminium and there is more potential, distance is very high, then corrosion will undergo very much more, okay? So that is what I am telling you. If the potential is less, then the rate of corrosion will be less. If the potential is more, then the oxidation potential is more, then the rate of corrosion will be more. So how to identify? If the two metals are very close, then oxidation potential is less and corrosion is less. If the two metals are kept very far, then oxidation potential is more and corrosion is more. Clear? So see, the rate of corrosion of zinc, he is talking about zinc, with the following metal is least. He is directly saying least, okay. Corrosion is least, he is saying. So tell me, if corrosion is least, then what happens? Then elements are close. Close, isn't it? Then the elements kept are very close. So see here, where is what we have? He is saying about zinc. So for zinc, which is closer? Here if you see, zinc we have magnesium is first closer, so there is no magnesium. So another we have ferrous. Ferrous is so closer. Is there ferrous here? Aluminium not there. So ferrous. So the zinc and ferrous are very close to each other. The zinc and ferrous are very close to each other. So when they are very close to each other, then the distance is what? Then the distance is very less. Right? If the zinc and ferrous are very close, then the distance between them is less. So oxidation potential is also less. Right? Then we can have what? Then okay, if then oxidation potential is also less, then the corrosion is very less. So directly is saying that rate of corrosion of zinc with the following metal, is least. What is that metal? With the ferrous, okay. Is that clear? Right? So that is what we have, okay. So take it down now, we'll go with the next question, okay.